Handcrafted jewelry rings, earrings, and pendants for everyday wear. Whether or not it is possible to combine variety and availability of jewelry with precious metals and stones. How a young Ukrainian designer managed to break age-old stereotypes about jewelry and become the first independent jeweler in the country. Handicrafts. This typically means that buyers have to pay more than usual for any given product. In the 21st century, the demand for the originality of products among consumers grew. This particularly applies to jewelry. On the one hand, there are works of jewelry that cost a fortune. On the other hand, there is brand-name jewelry that contains no precious materials whatsoever. Unique developments and manual labor combined gave a product that was also unaffordable for most Ukrainians. Filling that niche with an expensive jewelry made of precious materials seems like a deliberate lose-lose situation, but if a true master takes it up, nothing is impossible. I want to make, and I do make, simple, understandable, beautiful, everyday jewelry out of precious materials, so that girls would not have to wait for some evening or celebration or occasion, but can shine like a diamond and at the same time look natural every day. Olena Yastreb belongs to the generation of Ukrainian designers who do not fit into the established framework. Her jewelry is primarily art and only then an item for sale. A small apartment in Kiev, a laptop and a tablet is all she needs for her work. Olena admits that it would have been much more difficult to start her own jewelry business without modern technology. The jewelry her grandmother gifted to her inspired Olena to take up jewelry as her own private business and a genuine moneymaker. I needed a special image and some vintage dresses. They were in the Soviet style, so I looked at them for a long time and still did not wear them wherever I went. They were simply too fancy and quite flashy for me. Olena went along a difficult path from the idea of making democratic jewelry for the first cast ring. Next, why the creative search of a young jewelry designer had come to a standstill and what process is behind the creation of the simplest piece of jewelry. Bijouterie, or jewelry in French, from inexpensive materials helped women for many thousands of years, although it was not called that way. The most ancient necklace found in South Africa consists of 45 snail shells and was created an amazing 75,000 years ago. Silver, gold, and precious stones were for people that belonged to the high strata of society. Nowadays, while these materials are more affordable, jewelry from them is still considered to have a special status for people in the upper class. We perceive jewelry as an investment, as some kind of symbolic things that mark our steps in life. Graduation from school, birth of a child, wedding and wedding rings, and so on. We do not wear them every day, rather only on holidays or other special occasions, or practically never. Back in the Faculty of Graphic Design in university, Olena realized that in order to break this stereotype, jewelry must be made differently, not so strict. The owner must not be afraid of losing a ring, even though it is precious. So Olena focused on the design and created the first sketches. The silver ring in the form of a stylized cat was among them. The designer found all jewelry production outfits in Kiev, but no factory was interested in her ideas. They were considered to be too bold and commercially unpromising. According to marketers, jewelry buyers are used to going to expensive stores and choosing from a traditional assortment. In my opinion, this is a very outdated way. I have never gone to such places, and even if I did, I felt very uncomfortable and somewhat lost. Not embarrassed, but just lost. I felt that I could not choose anything. When you see 300 rings at once, you will definitely be confused and will not find anything that suits your own personal taste, or often even that which you initially wanted and thought you would find for sure. By that time, online trading had already been in full swing in Ukraine, but prior to creating an online store, it was necessary to produce the jewelry itself. Through friends, Olena found another jewelry workshop and offered her sketches sketches. The craftspeople liked them, which was her first victory. However, time went by, but not a single piece of her jewelry was made. The workshop turned out to be too overloaded with current orders to experiment with new ones. But the young designer did not give up and continued working hard to achieve her dream. I asked myself what it would take to start making jewelry on my own. I was given advice as to how to go about this business. The idea was cut to a model out of wax or create a digital model. So I bought some wax and started cutting models out, having no idea how to go about this tedious process. Watching the craftsmen at work, Olena learned the basis of jewelry production and then made her first rings. How it is made. The main and most favorite part of Olena Yastreb's work is coming up with the idea of a jewelry piece. She was used to drawing sketches by hand, but production requirements made her learn how to use 3D modeling software. Olena did not attend special courses, but instead watched a lot of free video tutorials on the internet. In just a few months, she learned how to masterfully digitize her sketches. Such a model can be printed on a modern 3D printer out of resin-like material. It is used to cast a workpiece out of precious metal. Another option is to carve it out of wax the old-fashioned way.
Кольцо режется 2, 3, 4 дня или там какое-то украшение. Если оно портится, оно снова перерезается, и все это вручную. Потом воск.
It takes 2 to 4 days to cut out a ring or some other decoration. If it is spoiled, it had to be cut again, all by hand. Then the wax is cast in metal. It is molded into a plaster mold. It stiffens and remembers the shape of the wax. Then hot metal is poured into it until it fills the wax mold completely. Then we get rid of the wax, which leaves only the metal. We coat it for the desired products and treat it, and voila! There you have your finished product.
Наши нужные изделия и обрабатываем. Все, изделие готово.
Having mastered these technologies, Olena, without knowing it, became the first independent jeweler in Ukraine. Olena sold her first jewelry rather quickly, once again thanks to the internet. Soon she had to spend days in the workshop to meet the growing demand. At some point, it became clear to her that one craftsman would not be enough, and she started coming up with more and more ideas for jewelry every day.
Потом я уже передала эту роль людям, которые...
Then I passed that role on to the people who helped me. I did not learn how to attach gemstones, smelt metal and everything else. I know those technologies, but I use 90% of my time to create jewelry, to use the services of jewelry masters and be able to bring my more complex models and sketches to fruition to create the final product.
Реализовывать свои более сложные модели и эскизы.
Nevertheless, Olena still watches all the stages of jewelry production. Next in our program, how to make an original marriage proposal and what exactly stands behind the animalistic motives in a designer's jewelry. People often come to Olena as they believe she is a jewelry master that can make them a unique piece of jewelry.
Вот это кольцо, которое мы сделали.
I made this ring together with my client. This is my design, but I made it at my client's behest and used their gemstone. They are gemstones from the family heirloom of jewelry. This will be a ring for a marriage proposal. The client chose the most non-trivial sketch of mine from several of them. One diamond is traditionally attached to the silver ring on the outer part, but nobody but the owner knows about the existence of the other secret stone, which on the inner side adjoins the engraving "Marry Me."
Это только для того, чтобы...
That is done especially to emphasize the complexity of the product, even in such a small format. We embed stones not for them to be seen, but simply so that the owner of the ring knows that they are there. One of the most popular and at the same time original series of Olena Yastreb are the Modular Pendants titled Family. These figurines are worn on a chain, but it is very difficult to find two identical sets.
Уже есть все человечки. Мама, папа, младший сын.
All the figurines are ready: mother, father, elder son, middle son, younger daughter, elder daughter, cat, and dog. I'm currently working on some individual things. For example, in the case that there is a tall father or a rather plump mother in the family. Over 5 years, Olena has created hundreds of authorial jewelry pieces from gold and silver. Some of them became a series, while others remained unique.
это кольцо, которое...
Olena Yastreb says that the pleasure from developing new models and making up unexpected combinations is what matters for her the most. She has even turned gift certificates for her store into jewelry.
Как правило, сертификат выглядит как...
Certificates are usually dull pieces of paper that are easy to lose, so I have made a ring that can be used as a certificate. You can wear it and you do not even have to trade it in until I create a worthy product that will definitely satisfy the client's desire and be to their liking.
Он захочет его обменять.
Such a certificate has no finite deadline and is valuable in and of itself. The works of Olena Yastreb occupy the lower and middle price ranges, that is, they are affordable. At the same time, the designer gives away a tenth of the profits to a cause not at all related to jewelry art. She not only likes depicting animals on her jewelry, she also helps them survive in real life. We have organized an animal welfare society together with activists in my hometown of Obuchiv, a small city in the outskirts of Kyiv. We are creating a base there for the treatment and sterilization of animals, because that is an issue that is yet to be resolved. We plan to make some more serious investments into this clinic, such as ultrasound and X-ray machines for animals.
УЗИ-аппарат для животных и рентген.
The designer participates in charity auctions, and all the profits will go to specialized shelters for stray and homeless animals. I believe that nobody owes anybody anything. It is the personal will of everyone. If there is an opportunity and the ability to help someone else, then it should be taken advantage of. I strongly believe in the principle, the more I give, the more I will receive as reciprocation. Therefore, I never hoard my strength and energy. Instead, I distribute it fairly among others. Olena is getting ready to open a representative office in the EU in 2017, so she is studying the jewelry tastes of residents of various European countries. Affordable brand name jewelry from Ukraine will become the basis for new collections and will prove to people throughout the entire world that jewelry can be a part of a person's everyday image.